Utah has been made famous for having the best snow on Earth. I've been fortunate to live only a few minutes from the lifts all my life. I really love skiing, and to better appreciate what we have here, I wanted to visualize where snow has fallen over the past few years, and also wanted to find out when the snow conditions were best. To do that, I went to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration site and was fortunate to find that they had snowfall and snow depth information by month over the past decade almost. So after downloading this information, I was able to see that they had all the details I wanted, but it needed to be reformatted. I did that through Excel by combining all the files and taking the data that they had by location for over 4,000 different weather stations and making sure that it could be transposed into a format that could be understood by PowerMap. Unfortunately, macros made that a pretty easy task. After only a few lines of code, I was able to cut the information out and get it lined up next to all the snowfall information in the way out that these millions and millions of data points resulted in only 373,000 rows of actual snowfall trends. So that was actually able to be processed by PowerMap really easily. All I had to do is go up to press Insert and launch PowerMap, and I was able to have these visualized created within only a matter of a few seconds. It was interesting for me to see that the main spots where snowfall was coming down was right on top of my hometown, across the Rockies in Colorado, and then also in Washington and some of the eastern seaboard. But to better aggregate the data by region, I was able to switch over to this view and see the specific data by the county name, state name, and have it all aggregated to see that over the past few years since 2005, over 6,000 inches of snowfall has dropped on my county alone. And I was also able to identify a few other areas where I might want to try skiing over in Colorado and Grand and in Jefferson. But I was surprised to see that even Washington had almost 5,000 inches of snow. Even the fun part came when all those hundreds of thousands of rows of data were processed to be accumulated over time. So of course, each winter, the numbers surge, and then in the summer, things really slow down. And you can start to see those 3 or 4 main areas start to really stand out. You have the Colorado Rockies, you have my hometown in Salt Lake, and then a couple areas in Oregon and Washington. Now that I understood exactly where all the snow was falling, I wanted to find out when I could take advantage of all that snowfall. So even though there are hundreds of thousands of data points, PowerMap is able to churn through this and show me that information not only accumulating over time, but on each day showing only for an instant. And this was my favorite visualization of all. This is when I began to notice that even though there were surges early on in the winter, that these data points actually continued to bubble long on into the spring. I'll see in the months of March, April, and even May, very significant snowfall still coming down. And it made me wonder what would happen if I dug deeper into the spring skiing trends. When I did that, I saw that even though our holiday ski season is already over, that all through January, February, and March, even April, there's still quite a bit of good powder that's going to come down, and it helped me stay encouraged for the rest of the year to be able to continue going to the ski slopes. And even though a lot of the people in the nation have grown tired of this winter because of the polar vortex, I personally look forward to the rest of these next 2 or 3 months where the skiing is still going to be solid.